The material is based on the Inside book, pages 347 to 348. And Sister, I've left her slept down on the seat. She's with a sister, a discussion with a sister. The character is Boaz, and the theme, be morally clean and accept scriptural responsibility.
It's so nice, Doreen, to see you and your family at the meetings regularly. It's a great effort you and Israel put as parents to get the kids all organised. I'm sure it's not an easy job.
Thank you for that. No, it's not. It can be hard at times.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. But I'm sure Jehovah is very happy with the effort that you both make. And after all, it is a responsibility that we need to take seriously as parents. Actually, talking about scriptural responsibilities, in the meeting this week is actually a character who took his responsibility very seriously. His name was Boaz. Do you know much about Boaz? Do you remember?
He married Ruth, didn't he?
Yeah, that's the one, yeah. Can I share what I read about him with you?
That would be great, because I want to look at the information for the meeting yet.
Okay, well, we can review the information together, yeah. Well, Boaz was a wealthy man. He was a landowner of Bethlehem, and he had a close relative named Elimelech, and he died along with his two sons, and they left no male heirs. Now, one of the sons' wives was Ruth, and she stuck closely to her mother-in-law Naomi. Now, Ruth in time was gleaning in the fields of Boaz. So if we turn to Ruth, the book of Ruth, chapter 2, and would you like to read verses 3 and 4 for me, please?
Okay. Ruth chapter 2, 3 and 4. And that she went out and began to glean in the field behind the harvesters. By chance she came upon a plot of land belonging to Boaz, who was of the family of Elimelech. Just then Boaz arrived from Bethlehem and said to the harvester, Jehovah be with you. And they replied, Jehovah bless you.
Yeah, so we can just think on those verses there about Boaz. He was a spiritual man, and you notice how he really had respect for his harvesters, and they had high respect for him as well. And he actually observed Ruth and her loyalty. If we continue along in verse 11 and 12, it mentions what he said about Ruth. He said, Boaz answered her, a full report was made to me of all you have done for your mother-in-law after the death of your husband, and how you left your father and your mother, and the land of your relatives, to go to a people whom you had not known before. May Jehovah reward you for what you have done, and may there be a perfect wage for you from Jehovah, the God of Israel, under whose wings you have come to seek refuge. So there he really commended her. And then she, in turn, went to Naomi and said that she was working in the field of Boaz. If we go to verse 20, we can see Naomi's reaction to that, where she says, may he be blessed by Jehovah, who has not failed in his loyal love toward the living and the dead. Naomi continued, the man is related to us. He is one of our purchasers.
So what is a repurchaser?
A purchaser? Yeah, good question. Well, God's law allowed the man's brother to marry the widow so that she could give birth to an heir who might carry on her deceased husband's name and care for the family property. So Naomi knew this, Boaz was related to her, so she explained to Ruth the customary way of bringing this matter to Boaz's attention. So one time Boaz was sleeping, and he actually woke up and he found Ruth lying down at his uncovered feet, asking that he repurchase Elimelech's estate by marriage. And this is how he replied. If we go to chapter 3 of Ruth and verse 11, did you want to read that verse?
Okay. Chapter 3, verse 11.
That's it, yeah.
And now, my daughter, have no fear. I will do for you everything that you say, for everyone in the city knows that you are an excellent woman.
So here, Ruth was just acting according to the customs of the day. It would be a mistake to view her actions as immoral. Boaz responded to in a way that clearly showed that he saw Ruth's conduct as morally chaste and highly commendable. And he told Ruth that there actually was another repurchaser which was more closely related to Ruth, or to the family, but that man refused. So before witnesses, Boaz, realised he had that responsibility. He stated that he would act as the repurchaser, so he bought the estate of Naomi's dead husband and married Ruth. So just very briefly, we've covered a bit about Boaz there, but he had many fine qualities, but particularly he remained morally clean and he accepted his scriptural responsibility.
I really enjoy going through that information with you.
Yeah, it's a real reminder to all of us as servants of Jehovah. We too need to accept our scriptural responsibilities, not only if we have a family to look after them, but also our responsibility towards the preaching work. And also too, like Boaz, we have to remain morally clean because we live in such an immoral world. But he's a fine example to imitate, isn't he?
Yeah, thank you. I'm now going to prepare for the rest of the meeting now.
Sounds good.